Katie Uhlmann here with Sean Humphries. What inspired you to get into the entertainment business?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I was kind of a, I don't know, I will say this, I will admit it on camera, I used to be a drug dealer back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, and...
That's one way to get into it.
well, but it was really... I grew up in, the South Bay and Lakewood, Long Beach area, and I was just driving forklifts and just doing kind of like regular Joe jobs, and my life started getting out of control, kind of, selling pot or whatever, and I just reached a crisis point when I was about 27, 28, where nothing was going on, and I went to jail for I'd had a warrant out for my arrest for 3 or 4 years, starting with like a DUI when I was 20.
Oh.
And when they finally caught me, it was a $15,000 warrant. And so when I think they picked me up for second and third counts of driving on a suspended license. No big deal. But I went to LA County Jail, and it was scary. I was a kind of a middle class white kid from the burbs, and everybody else there, they weren't like necessarily hardened criminals, but they were more poor and kind of disadvantaged. And I realized, I could do something with my life. And I got back into college, and while I was in college, nothing really interested in me much except for film. And I got into UCLA Film School, and ever since then I was like, well, of course this is what I want to do.
Great.
Yeah.
You have a big improv background. How has that helped you with your writing and editing and your TV developing? I know you do all kinds of things, but how has that helped you transition into all these other areas?
Well, I mean, primarily, the real kind of core aspect of it is my network of people that Facebook friends or whatever. I know literally the funniest people in the world, that have gone through UCB or IO West, and it's just a privilege to have that many people available to help out on projects, to just talk to and just see what their comedic minds can come up with. But on a personal level, for my writing, there's a place where when you just sit down and you have an idea and you write it out, it's there. But if you can have if you can yes and yourself and kind of like dig into the deeper levels of the idea. Damn helicopter.
That's okay.
There's a way in which all of that training teaches you to kind of develop different techniques for Rolodexing ideas, or if that is true, then what. So you're taking all of these basic core improv tools and applying it to the writing, and I would even say editing process, because you learn about timing, being up on stage and all that. The other thing that's really interesting is I can have an idea with any of my various writing partners, and we can just improvise a scene, and whether we use every single piece of dialogue in what we've just developed, we will be like, well, of course this character would say this thing and this thing, let's make sure that gets in there, and then the rest of the scene can be built based on a couple of just intuitive ideas that come out of that creative fountain that improv creates.
What projects are you most excited for right now?
Well, I've got a lot of burners in the fire, and I think that's the way to kind of operate when you're in this industry. The thing I'm most excited about is working with Eddie Pepitone, stand-up comedian. He's got I think he's been when the rocket is about to take off, he's been hovering over the launch pad, and he's either going to crash or take off. And I've got a friend who's kind of outlining a noir comedy script with him as the main character. I haven't told him about that yet. I have a series that I'd like to see at IFC or Adult Swim that I'm developing with the guy who produced his documentary, The Bitter Buddha, where we can exploit Eddie's point of view about kind of paranoia and conspiracy, anti-government, anti-capitalist, and really see how it applies to his struggle. As in the script, he's a failed comedian, so now he's kind of rebuilding his career. And I just think, I feel like if I put him in the right situations, no matter how crazy they are, he will
deliver.
He'll deliver. Exactly. He's amazing that way. And then I have a feature script that's kind of, I'm working with a producer and a writing partner about Elliot Ness in the 1930s when he was the director of public safety, and there was a serial killer, one of basically America's Jack the Ripper, was operating in the city at the time, and this guy never got caught, the person who was doing it, and we explore all kinds of different theories, but this led to Elliot Ness's failure. He came back 10 years later and tried to be the mayor of Cleveland, and he really this thing destroyed his career. And so this is a kind of an exploration of a fallen hero. And we've been working on it for 3 or 4 years, and it keeps on getting tighter and better and more interesting for me to work on. Yeah. And
what advice would you give to someone following in your footsteps? I
say chip away at it every day. Have a good practice, have some commitment to the thing that you're doing, and just a little bit every day. And especially if you're writing, 1 or 2 hours every day is going to help you develop your voice and a point of view. And it actually just gets the muscle memory of doing the thing. What does Malcolm Gladwell say about 10,000 hours? You can get 10,000 hours. Yeah, 10,000 hours, a couple hours at a time every day. It doesn't hurt. Like I was saying to you before the interview, the fact that you're doing all these interviews puts you in this place where you can sit down and do it and have no problems. It's effortless for you. Well, mostly. And you make it look easy.
Wow, thank you.
And that's it. Just chip away at it every day. You can't build a pyramid in one day, so you might as well just decide on one little task that you can take care of that will get you one small step closer to your goal.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck with your upcoming project with Eddie and your other ones as well. I love you, Eddie Pepitone. And congratulations on all of your successes so far.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Katie. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching Katie Chats. If you like the show, please subscribe. And if you're curious to know what I'm doing when I'm not interviewing, please click here. I'm also an actress and recently produced my first short film and would love for you to check out the trailer. Thank you.